Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. So tonight, we're going to be reviewing Confidential Informant. I also have my good, awesome friend co-host, Rossie, with me. We're going to be reviewing this movie. We had Michael Oblowitz on the other night, just talking about his film and how enthusiastic he was over it. We finally got a chance to sit down to watch this film, and we're excited to be able to do this review. So thank you for allowing us to review this, Michael. We do appreciate it. So without further ado, let's go on ahead. Let's talk about Confidential Informant. And hey, Rossie, how are you?
Hey, John, how are you? What's up,
I'm doing
movie lovers?
fantastic.
So, this movie.
Yeah, we finally got a chance to see it. We finally got to sit down and watch this in our own private screening, which is fantastic. This is a big honor for us to be able to do this, especially as indie podcasters and someone that enjoys watching movies and talking about movies. So,
thank you, Lionsgate. Thank you, Lionsgate, for allowing us to have a free screening. And
yes.
Appreciate it. Absolutely.
Big honor. Thank you so much, Lionsgate, for allowing us to review this film. And also, thank you to the Holly Shorts Film Festival for allowing us to bring Michael on to interview him as well. So that's also another big honor for us.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I'm going to go into the plot point of this. This is going to be a non-spoiler, guys. Just letting you guys know, so that way if you guys want to go on ahead and check it out for yourself, you guys can. But this movie is actually set in 1995 in New York City. And then we also have Narcotics Lieutenant Kevin Hickey, who is actually played by Mel Gibson, opens with a frank statement. Cops work diligently for the public good, but aren't treated fairly when their chips are cashed. And then, of course, his voice introduces the grizzled Tom Moran dynamic Purcell and alcoholic Mike Thornton, who's actually played by Nick Stahl. I think that's how you say his name. Both men served as Marines in the Iraq War. Before joining the force, Tom saved Nick's life in combat. They were pretty much like an inseparable pair, if you think about it, whenever they were a team together. And that always had each other's back. So that's something that I really thought that was interesting, how you have these characters and you can actually see it within the writing itself.
Right.
That they do have that dynamic of where these are brothers in arms.
Yeah, just a little bit, guys. I just want to give props to our actors. We had a pretty nice cast of people in this. Let's see, as John said, Mel Gibson plays Kevin Hickey. We have Kate Bosworth, who plays Anna Moran. Dominic Purcell plays Tom Moran. Nick Stahl plays Mike Thornton, and Michael Kachek plays Kurt Harnister, who also was one of the writers on this film, along with Michael Oblowitz and Brooke Nasser. And we have Russell Richardson, who plays William Lerner. I did like the fact that you have Nick Stahl character with Purcell's, Dominic Purcell's character, Tom Moran. The fact that they had this bond and friendship for the fact that they were in the war together. And, let's see, it was Tom who saved Nick's life, right?
Right.
So he saved his life. So them becoming cops, they were partners, and you got to see how close they were and how involved they were. And you want to talk about we don't want to tell you guys everything that happens and how it ends. But basically, you have Tom Moran, who's played by Dominic Purcell. He finds out he has cancer. And he's going to die, and he has, I think it's like days or weeks left. And and his home situation is not the greatest, because we know that, cops don't make a lot of money, and he's really stressed out. He has a beautiful family. Kate Bosworth plays his wife. He has a child, and he comes up with this scheme to fake his own death stage his
own death so he can get the pension to his wife.
Yeah, to stage his own death so that he can get the pension. And his partner, Nick, actually, Mike Thornton, who's played by Nick Stahl, has to help him with that. Go ahead.
Right. And Kate Bosworth actually plays his wife. And I thought she did a really good job of playing the caring wife to be able to nurture him a little bit, to try and tell him, hey, look, it's going to be okay.
Right.
And at that point, he doesn't know he has cancer just yet. But the journey that you're on with him makes you care about the character. And that's just amazing writing style that Michael had on staff with him to be able to do that. And you can actually believe it. You can actually believe that this guy has cancer. You can believe that Kate is actually being the one who was trying to be there for him.
Right.
And that's something I thought that was really caring and enduring for me as well.
Right.
So that part I thought was relatable as well. So some of these characters are very relatable. If you guys are wondering about that, there are some relatable characters, especially when someone's battling cancer. And then, but yeah,
I thought that the grittiness of the film, because it deals with a lot of you have a lot of I guess narco cops. They have this big situation that's going on, and you have this informant that they work with, meaning Tom and Mike. Okay, and so this informant is also involved in this plot because the guy that's on drugs, I guess Carlos, he too finds out that he's dying. He actually has AIDS, and he has not a lot of time left. And so some of the things that the two cops did also was to benefit the user's family as well, because they were going to be left without a lot. And in the midst of them scheming to stage, the detective's death, Tom Moran's death, this person gets involved as well, and it goes kind of belly up. He does die, Tom does die, but from that, a lot of things start to go really bad,
haywire.
Haywire. And you have your I guess you'd say the DA. His name was let's see, Russell Richardson's character, William Lerner, who smells something bad, and just so you know, he's not really he doesn't really like the two cops. He doesn't like, Tom or I'm sorry, I keep looking at this. Sorry, Tom or Mike, because he feels that they're dirty cops. Some of the things that they do is not,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, go ahead. You can speak on that a little bit.
No, it's okay. Sorry about that. But no, I think that the way that they played off that narrative works for this type of movie, because you need to have some type of way of staging this thing, not only staging it, but also showing you what's going wrong now that person's out of that area now, out of that, basically out of other people's lives and stuff, now that he's gone.
Right.
And you see the fact that things are going wrong, and you're wondering how they're going to pull themselves out of this.
Right.
If they're even going to pull themselves out of it as well.
Right.
And, I thought they also didn't shy away from the fact that this is a heroin addict, that Carlos is a heroin addict. Right. They didn't shy away from the drugs. I thought that was really good.
Right.
Action sequences are pretty spot on and stuff like that as well. When you look at the narrow walkway and things like that, if you're wondering about the action sequences, some of the action sequences are very well shot. But yeah, I thought that this was actually a pretty good movie as far as the storytelling goes, the writing goes. I really thought that dynamic works, especially with the chemistry on set with some of the characters. And even whenever Carlos does wind up dying, you feel sympathy for him in a sense.
Right. And also, as John said, this takes place back in the 90s. And so this is, the time where, cops would step over the line to especially when they're dealing in a gritty world of drugs and just horrible people. And so what I get from this film is you don't want to paint them as dirty cops. I don't look at them as dirty cops because of the fact that, it's the different situations that they are in, so, you gotta step over that line sometimes to get down and dirty with the criminals. And in the 90s, New York, I mean, you had a lot of that going on. And some cops, would step over the line to the point to where there was no return, like they're literally criminals. But what the sense that you got from the two characters, the two veterans that went to war together, it was really hard for Mike's character, Mike Thornton, Nick Stahl's character, to even entertain Tom Moran's wanting to stage his own death. He was very concerned with, he has kids, Tom Moran and his wife, and just, the fact that it's going to kill them. And he has to be the one, being that that's his best friend, to go and tell his family, his child, friends, he died in the line of duty. And so you get the reason why they did that. Like I said, cops don't make a lot of money, and this was just his idea of making sure that his family is well taken care of. So you get that, and you end up rooting for everything to work out. Unfortunately, like I said, it does backfire because Mike Thornton is left to answer questions, because you have this DA that's not he's not questioning the fact if Tom Moran dies. What his problem is the fact that he's been on them for a while because of the fact of the dirty things that they were doing. And this DA or cop is he's more like, he doesn't like any type of dirtiness going on with cops. He doesn't care what it is. But I do like how it works itself out towards the end, to where he finds out the real deal of what happens, what happened to Tom Moran, the druggie, and Mike Thornton's involvement in this.
Right. And you mentioned the fact that you have these cops in these situations and stuff like that too. That's what it is. It's just a situation that they're in.
Right.
And it's because of the fact that you have to go for them to do what they need to do to support their families and do their families. Right. They have to cross that boundary of what's right and what's wrong, even though you have one character that's a straight edge, which I'm happy that we do have at least one character that's a straight edge sword in this movie to where you can root for. Not saying that you can't root for the other characters, because they have their own motivations too. So I thought that was really interesting on how they play into it. And then, you also have the music that actually has the vibe of the 1995. You have, of course, you have your Cypress Hill in this. You also have you have that kind of vibe going on because Cypress Hill was big in the 90s and stuff like that, with rock superstar, rap superstar, and Singing in the Midbrain. The list just goes on. But I think that capturing that essence within the city itself, you can actually hear that within the New York City alleyways being an echo through New York City.
Right.
I think I think it
definitely
does.
definitely echoed, I must say, definitely echoed through the streets of New York City. But overall, if you like thrillers like this, these type of movies, I think that you guys might like this movie. I think you should definitely give it a chance. Check it out. John and I did today, and the movie runs about an hour, 28 minutes, 17 seconds, actually, to be exact.
Yeah, an hour and 28 minutes, which is actually perfect.
It's in and out. It's in and out. And like John said, you got some gunfights. I mean, you got explosions. It's a little bit of everything, and it does take you back to that 95 era of cop films. So yeah, not a bad watch.
No, definitely not. Like you said, most movies today is like 2 hours long. With this one, you're in and out quick.
Yes.
It's a quick story. You can easily just stuff popcorn in your face, enjoy a suspense film without having to worry about anything. So,
it's not complicated. You're not going to get lost in it. I mean, you're going to follow it perfectly, but you, like I said, and John said, you will get involved with the characters and get a sense of who these cops are, and the bravery of his Mike Thornton's acts to protect Tom Moran's family, and before and after his death. So and the acting is really good. You got some really good actors here. I enjoyed the acting. I thought Kate Bosworth did a wonderful job playing the grieving wife. She just did really good. And of course, you have Mel Gibson, who plays that gritty detective, funny at times. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah, Mel Gibson.
Can I tell you my favorite Mel Gibson line in that movie, though?
What?
You mean to interrupt me during this time for with my Yankees game?
Right.
For this shit? That's exactly how he says it. And I thought it was hilarious, even though I'm a Red Sox fan. But, I just thought it was very relatable.
My favorite part was when you have William Lerner, who's played by Russell Richardson, and he's going in the detective's office, played by Mel Gibson, and he's really irritating Mel because he keeps bringing up these charges and talking about these guys are dirty and whatever, and detective's just not having it. So he tells the character, he tells him, why don't you go and shut the door? And so he goes and shuts the door as if he's going to hear something gritty. And Mel Gibson's character tells William Lerner, no, I mean, I want you on the other side of the door when you shut it. You're going to be on the outside of the door. And I thought that's funny. So Mel Gibson, delivers little funny one-liners, just, yeah.
Yeah, definitely great. Go on ahead, check it out whenever it's getting released. And but yeah, I think that you guys are going to have a good time trying to watch this movie. But yeah.
Tell them where they can watch it at, though, right now. You can stream it. Yeah, it's streaming right now, you guys.
Yeah, it's actually streaming right now as we speak. So you guys can check it out on probably YouTube and stuff like that.
Definitely.
As well. So yeah, I definitely would recommend this.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to give any more. I don't want to give any much more away. I think you guys got it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you guys can watch it on Prime Video, Apple TV, Redbox, or Vudu Video, or your Roku device as well. So that's another place that you can go ahead and watch it at.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So Ross, I know you have a show coming up in a few minutes.
Yes.
Do you care to tell people what to expect from that show, real quick?
Absolutely. So it is our monthly gaming segment on Rossie Talks. And I have a few friends that's going to join me, and we're going to talk about our top 5 best open world games. Okay. And we're getting ready for our game of the summer edition of Rossie Talks, and that's going to happen in August. So we're going to talk about all the summer games that's came out, and then we're going to talk about upcoming games that's coming out this upcoming fall and winter. That's going to happen in August. So please stick around and join Rossie Talks for our top 5 best open world games.
All right. And so Friday, I'm going to be having a special guest with me. She just opened up her own podcast not too long ago. Ooh. And so I can't wait to be able to talk about Benny and June. We're going to be doing the Benny and June. Yes, this is actually my favorite Johnny Depp movie. But yeah, her podcast is called The Color of Love Podcast. And her name is Heidi. She's a fantastic guest. I had her on for my 4-year anniversary for the first time, and we decided to go ahead and collaborate for the Benny and June one. Made for Movie TV Podcast will be joining me on July 17th at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time to review the Michael Keaton comedy Night Shift. And that's everything as far as what we have coming up as far as shows go. But you know what? We actually have another audio podcast that we just dropped. And matter of fact, Anthony was on the show with me for this one. It was the Sandlot review that we did. So go on ahead, check that out on the channel or on your audio-only podcast, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. We also have an online store. So just go to bonfire.com/movielovers1, or you can go on ahead and simply just click on the link below, and all that information is in the show notes below. So that's going to be it as far as the show goes. But smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, show us some love, and always until next time, guys. It's been fun. It's been real. Can't wait to do this again. And
bye, guys.
Bye-bye.